Last night, Donald Trump's pick for Education Secretary, Betsy DeVos, faced some tough questions at her Senate confirmation hearing. And Bernie Sanders really didn't hold back. Take a look.
Would you be so kind as to tell us how much money your family has contributed to the Republican Party over the years?
I wish I could give you that number. I don't know.
I have heard the number was $200 million. Does that sound in the ballpark?
That's possible.
Okay. My question is, and I don't mean to be rude, but do you think if you were not a multi-billionaire, if your family has not made hundreds of millions of dollars of contributions to the Republican Party, that you would be sitting here today?
Senator, as a matter of fact, I do think that there would be that possibility. I've worked very hard on behalf of parents and children for the last almost 30 years.
Does Bernie have a point?
Well, in Michigan, where she's from, she's very big on charter schools. She doesn't really want to put money into public schools. She wants all alternative education all over the place. Meanwhile, like 90-something% of American children go to public school, including me. I have a master's degree from kindergarten all the way to a master's, public education, paid for by the state mostly. So I am an example of a public education, as is my husband and my first husband.
I think the big thing
But
here...
wait.
Oh, sorry.
In Michigan, just to make my point, in Michigan, charter schools rank worse in Michigan than public schools. So she's advocating private schools, and they do worse in her state. So there's your
Just to make a distinction, though, between
Yeah.
the two charter schools, because there are some charter schools, especially that in New York, that are not-for-profit.
Not-for-profit.
And there's a lot of oversight on them that do really well for low-income families, and it's great. So it's not just alternative, it's just reaching people that may not have access. The schools she's talking about, and the ones in Michigan, are actually for-profit and privatized and don't have much oversight. Those do not do well.
Okay.
So you're making, I agree with your point,
yeah.
but I think the problem here is you have someone overseeing a department for the whole country, a generation of children that will come through the schools. She's never been to a public school. Her kids have never been to a public school. She's never worked in a school.
Ever.
She's never worked in an administration.
Ever.
And she, to speak to this, she's also never taken out a loan or anything else. So to speak to these people that are going through these systems, I just find she's not qualified to speak to these issues, which could be, again, we're looking at so many kids and their futures and their education.
But, you know, the thing is, she has spent about the past 30 years working on this particular issue. I mean, if you look at and I agree with you that she hasn't done those things, but she served as chairwoman of the Board of Alliance for School Choice and heads the All Children Matter PAC. And she's lobbied for decades to expand charter schools and taxpayer-funded vouchers for private and religious schools because she believes they empower parents. And this is something I've always been conflicted with because, you know, I grew up in a very poor neighborhood and my parents scraped together enough money to send me to Catholic schools. My mother was a public school teacher and she said the system has been broken for 30 years. And when she had the choice to send her kid somewhere, she didn't send her kid into the same schools that she taught in. And so I've always felt that why not give those poor kids like me the opportunity and the choice to go to a better school?